So, did some laundry, now I gotta organize everything. Yeah, dude, I do laundry every fucking week. Sometimes it's annoying, it's a hassle, but it's shit you gotta get done to, give people an experience that they deserve, Like, a lot of people tell me, like, why do you do this? Like, why do you, like, put land? You don't need to. I don't, but I do it because I want to provide a great experience for my patients. Like, every time they come in, I want them to have, like, a good experience overall. I want them to feel they're getting quality service, quality care, things that are helping them feel better, because my work sometimes can be a little bit sensitive to other people. Could be a little bit painful in certain parts of the body. Sure, best to help them. Always more ways than none. So, yeah, that's why I still keep it to the basics. It's a little bit extra work, but that's okay. That's what keeps people feeling good, feeling that they're getting taken care of, that they're getting their money's worth. Because aside from, concierge therapy or concierge services, we try to provide the services we can. So that's what we try to do, my friends. The basics. What's up, guys? We just completed our first session of the day. 1 of 7. It was a pretty good day. So, as you know, I got a Black Friday deal, and he bought one last year, and I was able to get him one this year. And so we're going to go ahead and set that up. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting a down payment, and then we're going to finance everything else for the next couple of months. So one of the things that I've learned is to help people, and one ways of helping people is by giving them options on working with their financial needs, and that's one of the things that I will be doing. I have been doing, and so basically what I'm going to be doing is going and creating an invoice for this patient for the down payment, and then everything else that's left over, we're going to go ahead and I think I have to create him. Let me edit his account. Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and add his info from here. So what I'm adding, so within the invoice app of Square, it doesn't let you add patients to invoice on Square when you don't have any other information. So what I'm doing right now is I'm updating his information so I can add to the invoice, and then from there I'll add the custom amount, down payment for Black Friday deal, and a couple of months finance remaining balance. That way we can kind of just help him. I've added that, I add that, so then we're gonna go ahead and send it to him. And this is gonna allow me to, and once the down payment is set up, we'll add everything to his account. We'll add 12 sessions plus 12, so that's 24 sessions, and then it drops down everything to about $75 a session for the remaining 2 years, or for the remaining year. So we got it all set up. Let me go ahead and send immediately. to, and I'm going to send via text message because I want to give it to him as quickly as possible. But so it's a pretty good session overall. Text him. Hey Anthony, here's the invoice for the Black Friday deal, period. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns, period. All right, copy and paste. Paste. Perfect. So once the down payment gets paid up, and we'll go ahead and add all the sessions to his account. But good session. We worked on his neck and shoulders. He has a lot of neck and shoulder tightness. So for a lot of neck and shoulder tightness, I generally work on the chest, lats, arms, upper arms. We work into the axilla or the armpit region. We work into the neck, deep neck muscles, and then we get them on their sides to work further into their upper traps, their lats, the back of the deltoids, shoulders, as well as the mid spine and mid back. And then we'll go ahead and progress them down to face down position. And then we'll go ahead and work on their rector spines, more of the upper trap, work into their posterior shoulders. A little bit more specifically, we do like myofascial release techniques. We'll do deep tissue technique. We'll do trigger point techniques, and we'll also do a little bit of stretching of the arm of the joint capsule and joint massage too. So one thing that I found is when they're laying face down, you could do a lot of techniques in the shoulder, and you can help distract it. You can help move it up and down, move the scapula over and under, and kind of lift it up off that rib cage. Because one of the things that I've found with individuals with neck or shoulder issues is that scapula gets very jammy on the rib cage, and rather than sliding on it, it gets very fixed, and it doesn't have that mobility that it needs to hover over that rib cage as you raise your arm overhead, as you raise your arm down, reach back, reach overhead, reach back, reach forward, reaching and grabbing and pulling, so that shoulder blade isn't moving properly. So that's what we work on, to kind of dissociate the scapula on the rib cage so it can move more freely, which allows them to reach overhead, allows their neck to not get kinked down, as a lot of the neck muscles connecting the shoulder, but also into the mid spine. So we work in that mid thoracic spine region to kind of help open it up, create more mobility and fluidity through that area. So that's what we worked on him for this session. We'll be seeing him again in 2 weeks, and hopefully by that point we can kind of go ahead and start to dive into other parts. I know he wanted to work in his lower half today, but we didn't have a lot of time, so we're going to go ahead and implement that on his next session. So right now we're waiting on another patient of ours. It's at 10:30. It's 10:15 right now, so we got about a couple of minutes. And so what I'm going to actually be doing right now is kind of setting up or creating the email sequencing for our for next week. So one of the things that I'm trying to develop is going to be a lead generating system that flows into a nurturing system. So when I capture a lead, I want to send them into an email automated system, which helps create a nurturing of them, so that I can always be on the top of their mind by sending them monthly newsletter over the year, so that we can, be there if they need anything, if they have any pain or discomfort. That 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that we can then help them. So we're going to capture a lead. Then we're going to flow them into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is what I'm talking about. We capture a lead by providing value to them and helping them solve problems. And then we get their information, and then we progress them into the newsletter, monthly newsletter, giving even them more information. That's going to then allow us to create more trust, allow them to get to know us better and see how we can help them. So, say in month one, there's nothing wrong with them. They don't have no pain or discomfort. They're just like, I want to get a session. They'll reach out to us. We'll do that for the remaining of the year. And if they don't reach out to us, fine. We'll do that again next year. Once a month, we'll gradually progress to the point where eventually we're just going to be there for whenever they need help, whether it's neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, posture issues, whether they just want to come in and work our normative compression boots, whether they want to come in or just get scraping or cupping or whatever it is. We have that reminding system there for them to help them know that we're here and we're ready to help them whenever they need help. So that's basically the next thing that I got to do, that I want to do. So right now, I just got to figure out the layout of the newsletter. Before, I really didn't know what a newsletter was and what was the purpose of it, but now that I'm better understanding and I'm better working on how to create nurturing systems, I'm understanding what I want to put in the newsletter. So basically, you want to have educational stuff, you want to have helpful tips, you want to have small, quick wins for them. So I deal with a lot of business professionals, a lot of desk working professionals. So they deal with a lot of neck, shoulder, back, and or posture issues. So I'm going to be catering a lot of the wordings and documentation, or I'm going to be catering a lot of the emails to those problems, whether it's neck, back, shoulder, posture. I'm also going to be kind of adding ways on how people can improve their working station, that work desk station computer, by inserting a little bit of a desk ergonomic assessment or tips and tricks for that, so that they can be in a better position at work. Because you guys even see it within me, when I'm on a computer, I'm leaning back, my posture's all fucked up, I kind of get fixed, I lean towards one side, I lean towards another, my head gets pulled forward, I lean forward, and I do all this bullshit. And so that affects your body because it ingrains in it movement patterns that may not be best efficient for your body. For example, if you're leaning on one side, that's going to create tightness on this side that you're leaning towards, but it's also going to create lengthening and imbalances in the hip because your spine is moving over the hip and turning as you're leaning towards one direction. And if you're here for like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe all day, if you stand up, you're going to most likely be in that position. So I want to help give helpful tips on certain stretches you can do in your sitting, certain movements that you can do to kind of keep your spine fluid and not tight or stiff for your neck, shoulders, arms, and stuff like that. So that's something that I've been digging on, that I'm going to be developing. So that's basically the skeleton that I'm going to be using. Now it's just a matter of filling in the gap. So now the next thing I want to basically do is set up like the newsletter layout. So that's the next thing that I'm going to be doing. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and work on that. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to go ahead and turn off the camera. I got a patient coming in about 3 minutes. So I'll come and update you guys after that session on the next step that we're going to be doing for our newsletter. So stay tuned. Just got done with my second session. It's a pretty interesting case, actually. This patient had a back surgery. It was cleaned out. It was having a lot of bone spurs, a lot of disc issues, and a lot of lumbar spine instability at levels 3, 4, or 5. And so he had surgery to kind of clean that out. And he presented today with no discomfort or pain, but he did present with like a puffiness at the spine, which shows a little bit of body fluid kind of seeping into the tissue, and it's kind of creating like a little sac of fluid, which is pretty interesting. So we worked around the tissues, but also around the muscles of the spine to kind of help with that inflammation. We did a little bit of regular massage. We did cross friction over the ligament and within the spine laminar groove. We also worked along the erector spine from the base of the hip all the way up to the base of the head so that we can open up those tissues, kind of release the muscle spasm in the spine. And so that was session number 2. Pretty interesting case. I'm going to be seeing him for the next 4 weeks, 1 session a week. So hopefully I get more information on that so that we can kind of help him. And to end it all, I added some kinesio taping to kind of help with the inflammation and swelling that he was having. And it was localized. It's kind of interesting. Like I've seen it before in another patient of mine who, a young guy, he was a snowboarder, or he was snowboarding, and he kind of snowboarded off the ledge and he landed on his back. And like he said that he had like a ruptured disc, but also that little puffy protrusion on the lumbar spine. It's not painful, which is thick and kind of feels like a balloon, but like filled with water, like a small water balloon underneath the skin. It's kind of like a cyst, but it wasn't one. It was just right over the spine on the spinous process. It's kind of interesting, but we'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. I'm pretty intrigued. I'm going to do a little bit of more research just to have better understanding of what's happening and what leads to that, because it's kind of odd, but it's kind of cool at the same time. But yeah, we have another session, actually new patient. It was a referral coming up next. So that's going to be an interesting case. Looking at his file, and I don't think he has a intake form, so that's something we're going to gather information when he's here. Hey, how you doing?
Doing well, yourself?
What up, guys? Just finished my 3rd session. It was a freaking cool session. New patient referred by another patient, but he was a lecturer at a local university, does Muay Thai, history professor. It's fucking legit. Had a sick ass beard, had multicolored beard. It was awesome. But we essentially, he was a Muay Thai guy. He had a lot of hip flexor tightness, a lot of imbalance at the hip, so it was kind of rotated. So for him, we essentially worked on balancing out your hips. To do that, we basically opened up quads, we opened up IT bands, we opened up a tensor fasciolateral muscle. We then progressed onto hip flexors, psoas, iliacus complex. We went into the diaphragm and opened that up. And then we worked a little bit of the chest, upper chest, shoulder rotation. We worked on the shoulders, pecs, worked on the biceps, lats, serratus anterior. Then we worked on the backside. We worked hips, worked glute medius, glute minimus, worked piriformis, hamstrings as well. To finish all up, we went all the way to the back. We brought everything back and down so that when he stands, he's more upright, he's taller, his chest is wider and opened up now that they're not compressed and tight anteriorly, so he's able to stand more upright as that hip is open and more free. It's going to allow him to whack people in the face a lot easier when he's doing Muay Thai. So hopefully now when he does yoga, he feels a lot more mobility, flexibility. But it was a pretty badass session, man. I just got a text, and we have a late cancellation, so that's going to give us time to go get some lunch. So I'm going to go get some lunch right now, and then I'm going to come back and work on edit some stuff. But for the most part, it was a pretty successful session. Saw 3, we were going to see 4 in the afternoon, but now that we have 1 cancellation late, I'm going to go take lunch, use that time to kind of work on content for you guys and build up my YouTube channel, and then I got to work on my email marketing newsletter. Just got to remember. So in the meantime, we'll see you guys later. Just got back from lunch, and I'm a little fatigued. Don't tell my wife, but I had some pizza. There's this local spot, New York style pizza out in Tustin, the best. But yeah. All right. So so far we've had a pretty busy day. 3 sessions in the morning. We should have had one from 2:30 through 3:30, but we had a cancellation. Now we're waiting for our 4 o'clock session to come. So that's the next session we're gonna have. It's a recurring patient. She is a correctional officer. She came initially because she jacked up her shoulder training. She does a lot of high intensity interval training. So she came with shoulder pain. After a couple sessions, we got her out of pain, and then now she's coming regularly once a month. But right now, I am actually gonna be uploading some of my videos from my phone to CapCut. So if you guys like to start recording and creating your own content, or if you like to fool around with digital media, a great app is called CapCut. It's completely free and it is a digital. Basically, it's a media editing tool. CapCut is pretty awesome. It's really easy to work with, and it really allows you to upload information onto your computer, phone, or tablet devices, and it's a real cool tool. I really enjoy it. And so right now, trying to figure out where to settings. Anyways, cool. All right, cool. We got it. So let's go ahead and do that. We got that. It's pretty cool. It's because you can upload things from your phone. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the camera, and I'm just got done with back-to-back sessions. My 4 o'clock came, as well as my 5:15 came, and I didn't really get time to record, but here we are now. So I'm a little tired after that session, but 4 o'clock session was a recurrent patient. She came initially with shoulder, a biceps tendonitis irritation. We cleared that up, so now we're just working to maintain her body. She's a correctional officer, so she'll know she's always beating the shit out of her inmates and stuff like that, and fighting and tugging, and she has a couple of kids, so we worked on balancing out her upper body. We worked on her neck, shoulders, back, upper back, to just get all the muscles moving well, feeling well, and reducing a lot of the pain patterns for her, because she works out a lot. She's carrying a lot of weight. She is moving a lot. So we worked on those areas. My 5:15 session, she was a mother of 5 kids. She's a little bit older. She's in her late 50s, early 60s. And so she just has a lot of aches and pains. So we worked whole body. She has a history of falls. So we worked on her ankle, her knees, her hips, as well as her upper traps, her arms. She was complaining of tension in her hands, and we worked on just creating more awareness in her body, creating more muscle flexibility and mobility, as well as improving her circulation through massage techniques, and as well as reducing muscle tension in her low back, in her shoulders, in her hips, as well as her quads and lower legs. So we worked on those areas on that patient. So overall, we've had about 5 sessions so far, and I got one more to go at 6:30. So they'll be coming soon. So far, I still got to work. I haven't had time to work on this, which I was trying to work on. Hopefully, I'll get a little bit of time by the end of the day to kind of work on that. But this is, man, this is where it gets challenging as a solopreneur. You're treating patients. You're trying to provide the best care possible. You're trying to give the best care, and so sometimes you have to juggle a bunch of stuff at once. Well, you do, but and it kind of takes away time from the things that you need to get done, whether it's administrative work, whether it's marketing, whether it's creating content, whether it's doing all that fun stuff. I could the goal is to grow a little bit more, create a little bit more cash flow, so I can start to put people in those positions, and that's what we're working towards. So um, yeah, I'll update you guys after my next session, and then we'll drive home. Just completed our last session. That one ended up being a 30-minute because the patient requested it, but we worked on her neck, upper traps, base of the head, in the seated position. When a patient has issues trying to lay on her side or lay on her back, we just try to modify things to the best we can to make it comfortable for them. So this patient in particular is unable to sit belly down or has a discomfort when she lays on her side. So we ended up working on her in the sitting position, and it was more of a chair massage type massage. So we did that for about 30 minutes, 15 on each side, and so overall it was a good session. She was well. We'll see her again next week. But yeah, I think we're done for the day. Time to head home, get some rest. We'll see you guys tomorrow.